You don't have a money problem. You have a programming problem. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to permanently delete the program that keeps you poor. And if you stay with me until the very end of this story, you will understand how to turn your own mind into a high-powered magnet for every goal you've ever had. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth, success, and high-quality relationships effortlessly, while others work themselves to the bone and never seem to get ahead? You might think it's because of their education, their luck, or their family background. But if you look closely at the most successful people in history, you'll find a common thread that has nothing to do with external circumstances. They all understood one thing: the world you see on the outside is a direct reflection of the operating system running on the inside. Most people are trying to change their lives by working harder on the outside, but that's like trying to change the image on a movie screen by rubbing the screen itself. It doesn't work. You have to change the film in the projector. Today, I'm going to show you Bob Proctor's secret to doing exactly that through the paradigm shift. But pay close attention, because if you miss the middle section of this video, you'll be missing the glue that makes this whole system stick. Before we dive into the deep mechanics of the mind, I want to prove to you right now that you have a thermostat set in your brain that is currently controlling your life. I want you to close your eyes for just 10 seconds and imagine that you just walked to your mailbox, opened an envelope, and found a legitimate, tax-paid check for $100,000 with your name on it. Now, pay very close attention to how you feel. Do you feel a rush of pure, calm excitement? Or do you feel a tiny, nagging voice in the back of your head saying, "That's not possible," or "Things like that don't happen to me"? That tiny voice of doubt is your paradigm. It is the internal programming that dictates exactly how much money you're allowed to earn and how much happiness you're allowed to have. Bob Proctor used to say that if you don't change that program, you can work 20 hours a day and you will still end up with the same results you've always had. Stay tuned, because I'm about to explain why that voice of doubt is actually a ghost from your childhood that we are going to bust today. Bob Proctor was a giant in the world of human potential, spending over 50 years studying the mind, but he wasn't alone in his discovery. This is where Bob Proctor's wisdom meets the legendary teachings of Neville Goddard. While Neville taught us that the feeling is the secret and that we must live in the state of the wish fulfilled, Bob Proctor showed us the mechanical why behind it. Both of these masters agreed on one fundamental truth: your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. If you can plant a new program in the subconscious will find a way to make it real in the physical world. It has no choice. It is a universal law. You are about to learn how to bridge these two worlds. And trust me, this next part is where most people get it wrong, so don't skip a second of this. To change your life, you must understand what a paradigm actually is. It is a multitude of habits that are fixed in your subconscious mind, acting as your mental operating system. These habits were programmed into you before you could even speak, by your parents, your teachers, and the media. If you grew up in a house where people said, "Money doesn't grow on trees," that became your financial paradigm. Even if you want to be rich today, that old program is still running in the background, sabotaging your efforts. Neville Goddard would call this your concept of self. If your concept of self is that of a person who struggles, you will manifest struggle. To become a magnet for your goals, we have to rip out the old code and install a brand new success paradigm. And I am going to walk you through the 4 core steps to do exactly that right now. The first step in this transformation is what I call the focused decision. Most people never manifest what they want because they never actually decide. They just wish or hope. But Bob Proctor taught that a real decision is a very specific mental act where you flip a switch in your mind and move your consciousness to a different frequency. Neville Goddard called this assuming the state. You don't decide to get the money. You decide that you are the person who already has it. A real decision means you cut off any other possibility and stop looking at your current bank account for evidence of your wealth. This is the foundation, and without it, the rest of the steps won't have the power they need to work. Stay with me, because step 2 is the physical tool that Bob Proctor used to make millions of dollars, and it's something you can start doing in the next 5 minutes. Step 2 is the creation of your goal card, which serves as a physical anchor for your new paradigm. Bob Proctor carried a goal card in his pocket every single day for decades, because it wasn't just a to-do list. It was a digital signal to his subconscious. To do this yourself, take a small card and write your goal on it in the present tense, starting with the phrase Neville Goddard loved most. I am so happy and grateful now that. For example, you might write, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning $10,000 every single month. You must write it as if it has already happened. Every time you touch that card in your pocket, you send a pulse to your subconscious mind, reminding your mental autopilot of the new destination. You are building a new mental habit through physical touch and visual repetition. Don't go anywhere, because the third step is the hammer that actually breaks your old reality apart. Step 3 is all about repetition, also known as the law of autosuggestion. Your old paradigm was built through hearing the same negative things over and over again for years. So the only way to break it is through a massive amount of new repetition. You must read your goal card as soon as you wake up and right before you go to sleep. Neville Goddard called this the state akin to sleep, or SATS, because when you are drowsy, your conscious gatekeeper is asleep, and you can drop the goal directly into the subconscious. Bob Proctor suggested writing your goal out 10, 20, or even 100 times a day to literally carve a new groove in your brain. If you do this for 30 to 90 days, the old paradigm will eventually give up, and the not possible voice will be replaced by a this is happening voice. This part requires discipline, but it is the most rewarding work you will ever do. Step 4 is what I call vacuuming the mental space. Nature abhors a vacuum, so if you want to put new wealth into your life, you have to get rid of the old poverty thinking. You cannot put new wine into an old cracked bottle. This means you have to let go of old habits that belong to the old version of you. If the old you complained about the news or gossiped about being broke, the new you must stop. You have to create mental space for your goal. Neville Goddard taught that you must die to your old self to be born as the new one. You have to stop feeding the old paradigm with your attention. Stay tuned, because I'm about to share 2 real-world examples of how this looks when it finally clicks, and you'll see why willpower has nothing to do with it. Let's look at the wealth paradigm as a practical example. If you currently earn $3,000 a month and you want to earn $10,000, your paradigm will fight you by saying you aren't smart enough. To rewire this, you carry your goal card, and every time you feel stress about a bill, you immediately touch the card and say, "Thank you for my $10,000 a month income." You are using the stress as a trigger to reinforce the new program. Within weeks, your brain will start noticing opportunities, a side hustle, or a new idea that it was blind to before. This is your subconscious magnet working in the real world. This is the moment the shift becomes physical, and it is a feeling unlike any other. The same applies to the health paradigm. If you have a paradigm of being the tired person, your body will follow that command. Your goal card should read, "I am so happy and grateful now that I am filled with limitless energy." When you wake up feeling tired, instead of agreeing with the feeling, you look at the heart and thank the universe for your vitality. You are overriding the physical shadow with the mental light. As Neville Goddard taught, you are denying the evidence of the senses in favor of the truth of the imagination. Keep listening, because I'm about to explain why trying hard is actually the reason most people fail, and how to fix it forever. One of the most important things Bob Proctor ever taught was that willpower is a lie when it comes to long-term change. Willpower is a function of the conscious mind, which only accounts for about 5% of your results. Your subconscious mind accounts for the other 95%. When you try to use willpower to get rich, it's like a tiny ant trying to push an elephant. You don't fight the elephant, you become the elephant's trainer. You don't force success, you program success. When the paradigm is shifted, you won't need willpower. You will find yourself automatically taking the right actions and meeting the right people. Success will become as natural as breathing. If you've ever felt like a failure, it's likely because you were trying to use willpower instead of programming, and this next section will show you how to finish the job. To make this Bob Proctor secret work, you have to be willing to go through a 30-day immersion period. You are changing years of negative programming, so you can't just do it for 2 days and expect a miracle. Commit to the daily 10. Write your goal 10 times every morning and 10 times every night. Carry that card and touch it 20 to 30 times a day. Every time you touch it, visualize the end result for 10 seconds. Protect your environment by staying away from negative people who tell you life is hard. You are building a goal magnet, and you need to keep it away from the rust of negativity. This 30-day window is the threshold between your old life and your new one. You are a goal-seeking mechanism, and if you aren't hitting the goals you want, it's not because you're a failure. It's just because your magnet is currently pointed in the wrong direction. By using Bob Proctor's paradigm shift and Neville Goddard's power of assumption, you can point that magnet toward anything you desire. Wealth, health, and happiness are not things you get. They are things you tune into. You are the programmer of your own mind. You hold the pen, you write the script, and it is time to stop accepting the default settings of your past. Now, if you want to speed up this process and reach the ultimate state of manifestation, you need to learn how to clear the slate completely. I've created a masterclass on how to enter into the void and manifest anything fast. I will share a video link at the end of this video. In that video, I show you how to reach the 0-point field, where there are no old programs, only pure potential. When you combine the void with Bob Proctor's goal magnet, you become truly unstoppable. You can watch that video right here. I want you to claim your new programming right now. I want you to tell your subconscious that the old version of you is officially deleted. Comment, "I am rewired" below to signal that you have stepped into a new paradigm. If you found value in this story of the mind, please like this video, share it with someone who needs a paradigm shift, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a lesson on the power of the mind. We are building a community of creators who understand that the mind is the only true power. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep your card in your pocket and your mind on the dole. Manifest anything.